Okay, good morning to all of you. I welcomes to all in our lecture series on mathematical physics. That is your core paper 8 belongs to 4th semester and BSc syllabus. In our last class we have been discussed few problems regarding harmonic and conjugate harmonic. Okay, that is your question number 11, question number 12 and question number 13. Okay, so here I am going to say to you one thing that in question number 12 there is a plus minus mistake was there. You have to just correct it. Here you can watch. Here in question number 12 you can see question number 12 you can see here after integration this one. Now integrating this one, it will be e to the power minus x. Integration will be with respect to dx means e to the minus x means it should have to be minus e to the minus x. Okay, so here there was a mistake that you have to be correct. Okay, now I am going to be solved. You just watch it. So it will be minus e to the minus x cos y plus e to the minus x y sin y minus cos y in bracket minus x e to the minus x minus e to the minus x plus 5y. Okay, but phi can be found by considering CR equation, that is your del u by del y equal to minus del v by del x. Okay, so here del v by del x already we got here. So minus del v by del x, that means it will be plus this will be minus. So plus e to the minus x y cos y plus e to the minus x sin y minus x to the power minus x e to the minus x sin y. Okay, so hence here I written. Okay, so del u by del y equal to minus del v by del x. The minus del v by del x means here we have to consider that is minus del v by del x, and its minus means this will be plus and this will be minus. The same thing I have been written over here. Okay, plus e to the minus x y cos y plus e to the minus x sin y minus x e to the minus x sin y. Okay, then del u by del y, we got here. Here is your only uxy. This is only uxy. So del u by del y we are going to find out. Del u by del y means, see, this term will be e to the minus x will be constant. Cos y derivative means it will be minus sin y, so it will be plus e to the minus x sin y. Directly I am doing, you just watch. So e to the minus x sin y. Then here we are going to be do the derivative with respect to y. This term means it has to be considered as product formula. So first here y derivative with respect to y sin y means cos y. So e to the power minus x y cos y plus e to the power minus x sin y. Same thing I have been written, e to the minus x y cos y plus e to the minus x sin y. Then here you can see it is minus cos y, so this will be cos y means it will be minus sin y, so it will be plus sin y, and this in bracket all the terms are function of x, so it will be considered as constant whenever we are going to uh, derivative with respect to y. So it will be constant, only cos y will be minus sin y, so it will be plus sin y and into this term and plus phi dash y. So it will be plus sin y minus x e to the minus x minus e to the minus x plus phi dash y is equal to this much, is equal to this much. Okay, so I am going to be open this bracket and rewrite. Then what we are going to found, see, e to the minus x sin y e to the minus x y cos y plus e to the minus x sin y, this will be minus x sin y e to the minus x, this will be minus sin y e to the minus x, then this is plus phi dash y is equal to this much. Okay, you can see that this term is plus, this term is plus, got cancel, and this term e to the minus x sin y, here another term is here, e to the minus x sin y, got cancel both. So here e to the minus x sin y, here minus sin y e to the minus x, e to the minus x sin y, this is minus, so this two term has been cancelled. So here minus x sin y e to the minus x, here this side right hand side also minus x e to the minus x sin y, so this two term has been cancelled out. So only we found that phi dash y will be equal to 0. So whenever we are going to integrate both the side, we can find phi y equal to constant. Okay, so hence uxy will be this much, phi y is nothing but your constant. Okay, so this will be your uxy. So correct it, whatever in your note maybe you have been written, you just correct it. Next we have to go for the complex integration. This is the new topic we are going to discuss now. You watch carefully. Okay, so here I am explaining and you just watch. The evaluation of integrals of complex variable functions has important and wide application in various areas of the science and engineering. It is particularly useful for the analytic functions and possesses some similarity to that of the function of the real variables. These are the uh, basic idea, or we can say the application of complex integrations. So however, complex integration depends on the nature of the appropriate curve. This is the most important, appropriate curve in the complex plane, which is discussed here. A curve in the complex plane can be described by zt equal to xt plus iyt. Here t is in between a and b. T varies in between a and b. So here when the parameter t varies from t equal to a to t equal to b, the point z equal to zt traces a curve c in the complex plane. So you just consider this is the function of time. Suppose x is the function of time, y is the function of time, and we know that this is the complex plane, and this is belongs to x, and this is belongs to y. This is belongs to a real side. This is belongs to imaginary side. So this is function of xt, y is function of also t. So whenever t varies, whenever the parameter t varies from t equal to a to t equal to b, the point z is equal to zt. Okay, z is equal to zt when x, suppose x is here, y is here at particular time. So another for suppose at time t equal to 1, both x and y is here and here. At time t equal to 2, suppose it is varies from here and y varies from here. So the point, so here initially it will be here, then the next time next second it has been here. Suppose another t equal to 3, the next second you can say it is varies from, suppose x should be will be here, y changes over here. That means your point changes its location and it will give a curve, okay, on the complex plane. Same, so this curve will be called as c, named as c. So traces a curve C in the complex plane with initial point ZA equal to XA plus I YA and terminating at the point ZB. So this point called as ZA can be written as XA plus I YA. Okay, and this point named as ZB is nothing but XB plus I YB. Okay, the curve is said to be closed. If the curve is going to be said as closed, that means if ZA equal to ZB. So if suppose the point moves in the complex plane like this and ends at this point, okay, that means ZA will be equal to ZB, obviously. Okay, so ZA equal to ZB means curve closed. We can say the curve has been closed the initial and final points A and B are the same. That means A and B point both are same. Now different curves we are going to discuss. Simple curves. So this is, you can see that this simple curve but not closed. Here simple curve but not closed, but closed. This is a simple curve but closed. But this is not a simple curve. So here the curve C is called as simple curve. You can see figure A, figure 1A, figure 1A. Simple curve if it does not intersect itself. If it will be not intersect, in other words, ZT1 not equal ZT2 if T1 not equal to T2. For any point, at any point on the complex plane, they are not going to intersect. Then it will be called as the simple curve, which is represented by figure 1A, this one. Okay. For T, that is if T1 not equal to T2, and your for T elements of A and AB, so T varies in between A and B, but in between that the curve is not going to intersect. Then we are going to say that is a simple curve. Okay. And but the curve C is intersects itself is not simple like this one. That is a figure C. If it is intersects, then it could not be called as simple curve. So the curve is said to be continuous if the complex function zt is a continuous function of t. Obviously, if we are considering we are getting a smooth curve or a continuous curve, that means zt is continuous function of t. The curve C is said to be continuous if complex function zt is a continuous function of t. Two times I written, so not to be considered this one. Okay. The curve is said to called as piecewise. This word is a new for you. Piecewise. Piecewise continuous. That means see, this curve is continuous. This curve also piecewise continuous. If I am going to consider this piece of the curve, any piece, small piece, also it is continuous. That it is written. The general thing. You just follow me what I'm explaining. Okay, so the curve is called piecewise continuous if it consists of a finite number of continuous pieces. Finite number of continuous pieces. Here the actually this type of things. Okay, continuous pieces, in other word, if there are a finite number of sub intervals, that is t k minus 1 to tk, and here where k will be 1 to up to n, and t equal to t0 equal to a, tn equal to b. That means your two ending points. Okay, then ft is continuous on each sub intervals. Okay, and the curve is said to be smooth if zt has continuous derivative, that is z dash t not equal to 0. For value of t a in between value of t which is in between a and b. So if the curve is smooth, the curve is smooth means at all the point the derivative should be exist but not to be 0. If derivative will be 0, that means there will be a one type of peak we can find. See, this is the curve, this is the curve, this is the peak, but here peak, at this peak the tangent is only unique tangent. That means there is exist of its derivative. Suppose this is the function y varied with respect to x. So at this peak, there is only a single tangent is possible. Okay, so that means single tangent means obviously the curve will be smooth at each and every point. So if we are going to consider this type of curve, suddenly increases and decreases. So here at this point the tangent will be this one, many number of tangent can be possible. That means it will be called as a maxima. So maxima means it will be act as a constant value. Constant value means the corresponding derivative will be 0. So if 0, then we cannot say the curve is continuous. If dy by dx not equal to 0, then curve is continuous. So these things here it has been explained. The curve defined by z equal to zt called contour if it is smooth or piecewise smooth. In other words, a contour consists of, see, curve also named as contour. This is also called as the contour. Contour. Okay, the named as contour, that contour. Okay, if it is smooth or piecewise smooth, that means if a curve is smooth and or piecewise smooth, then that curve will be called as contour. In other words, a contour consists of finite number of smooth curves. So if we are going to consider this will be the curve and this will be the contour, that means finite number of smooth curves we can get. That means if we are going to consider this piece, it is continuous, it is continuous, 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 continuous. So each piece it is given the continuous function. So hence this curve is called as contour. Okay. In other words, a contour consists of finite number of smooth curves joined end to end. If the initial and final value of zt are same and the contour does not cross itself, then it is called as the simple closed contour or Jordan contour. What is it is written that if the initial and final value of zt are the same, that means if we are going to consider this curve, the initial and final, if it will be initial, then it moved one can move on the surface of this curve, and also final point will be the same. So this will be called as the simple curve or simple contour or Jordan curve or Jordan contour. Okay, initial final value of the zt are the same and the contour does not cross itself. Cross means this type of things also not will be present. The curve is not going to be crossed like this. Okay, if it is so, then it is called simple closed contour or Jordan contour. That is your figure 1b. This is your figure 1b. Okay, now line integral in the complex plane. Let zt equal to xt plus iyt. Okay, here t is the function of y, t is the function of x is the function of t, y is also function of t, and it varies in between a to b. Represent simple and smooth curve as shown in figure 2. This one. So this is the point a at t0, and this is the point b at tn. This is the curve. Okay. So be continuous function defined at each point of C. Let the interval be divided into let the curve okay, let the curve be divided into intervals starting with initial point a equal to t0, then t1 is greater than that of the t0, t2 greater than that of the t1, and tn greater than that of the t minus 1. You can write here t minus 1 equal to b, tn equal to b, the final point. Let these points be denoted by this point z0, z1, z2, z3. In between we can write zr minus 1. This is zr and this will zn. Same thing written zn, such that the curve C is subdivided into n arcs. The n arcs are z0 to z1 one arc, z2 z1 z2 z2 z3, like that, z0 z1 z2 z1 z2 z2 z3, zr minus 1 zr, zn minus 1 zn. These are the small arcs. Let xi, this is the xi1, xi2, xi3 up to xn be the points on the curve C such that xi1 lie on the arc z0 z1, xi2 lie on the arc z1 z2, zr lie on the arc zr minus 1 zr, etc. So let xi is the point on this curve which is in between z0 and z1. That means xi1 lies on the curve or arc z0 z1. On this arc xi1 is the point. On z1 to z2 arc, this is the point which is represented by xi2. z2 z3, in between z2 z3 arc, xi3 is the point, like that. z1 lie on the arc z1 z2 and xi r lie on the arc zr minus 1 r, etc. Now sum of all functional value can be represented as here we have been considered fz is the function which is represented by the curve. So each and every point, if you want to find out the functional value, then it will be f xi r and del zr. Okay, the functional value can be represented by f xi1 del z1. You got my point. That means in between that this point is lies in between z0 z1. Okay, at this point what is the value of function? This will be xi1, f xi1, right? F xi1. And in between this z0 to z1, what will at this point value is this one, but in this interval z0 to z1, what will be the value? This will be f xi1 into z1 minus z2, that will be del z. Okay, same thing it has been written that your f xi r del z r, where r is varies. So likewise here also functional value, here also we are going to get the functional value. Then the functional value for the whole curve will be addition of all the functional values for each and every curves. Okay, so summation over r equal to 1 to n f xi r into del zr. Let it is your equation number 1, where del zr equal to zr minus zr minus 1. So if the curve C is divided into smaller and smaller parts, so that n tends to infinite, and del zr, this this difference of length, or this length is going to be tends to 0. If I am going to divide this z0 to z0 to z1, this is the curve. I am going to divide smaller and smaller. So smaller and smaller means this length is going to be tends to be 0. Okay, 0. Then the above equation number 1 can be written as limit n tends to infinite Sn. So sum of all the points value, all the functional value at each and every point will be, instead of summation we have to write integration c f z dz. So here limit n tends to infinity Sn called the line integral or contour integral of fz along the curve C. Okay, so instead of we have to consider summation each and every point, summation of the functional value of each and every point, we can, as it is continuous, so one can be represent in this way, that is your integration c f z dz. Here C is the curve known as the path of integration. For closed curve we can write like this: integration, this symbol is for closed curve fz dz. Okay, like this. Suppose if the curve will be closed, then it will be represented by this one. Then we have to go for the basic properties of line integral. So here is the basic properties of line integrals. Line integral are a to b fz dz will be minus b to a fz dz. Okay, and contour integration alpha fz plus beta gz dz can be written as alpha. If alpha is a constant, it can be written as alpha fz dz plus beta integration gz dz. It is very similar with normal integration. So contour integration, see, this is not closed. Okay, if this circle will be present, then we can say that the closed integration. The curve integration or contour integration, or you can say line integration, fz dz equal to c1 fz dz plus c2 fz dz, like this. Suppose this is the curve is c is divided into two curves, one is c1 and another is c2. So instead of write contour integration of the curve c means starts here and ends here. Curve c will be equal to contour integration of c1 plus contour integration of c2, right? Now we have to go for a theorem that suppose fz is analytic function and fz will be represented by d by dz of another function that is capital Fz is continuous in a region R, then for a contour C lying in R with end points A and B, contour integration Fz dz will be equal to Fa minus Fb. That we have to prove. Okay, that means suppose this is the contour integration and this is the point A and B. So line integration or contour integration of this one will be also Fa minus Fb. That means initial value minus final value. If we are going to be calculate, also it will be same with this one. Okay, so here Fz dz contour integration will be equal to integration contour integration dfz by dz into dz. Okay, because here we have been assumed that fz is nothing but first derivative of another function capital Fz. Same thing I have been just substituted over here, is equal to t equal to a, that is your initial point. Limit I have been considered over here, that t equal to a to t equal to b, d by dz of f. Here z is the function of t, z is the function of t, and this here also we can write dz by dt into dt. That means dt got cancelled and we are going to get dz. Okay, so it can be written as t equal to a to t equal to b, d by dt of f fz dt. Here you can see here d by dz, dz by dt, dz can be cancelled. So d by dt of f zt dt. Okay, so t equal to a to t equal to b, d of, so dt dt is going to be again cancelled. So d of f zt. So that implies contour integration of fz dz will be equal to, here the integration, after integration it will be only f zt. So by substituting the upper and lower limit, we are going to get fb minus fa. Here I written somewhat wrongly. You have to correct that. This will be fb minus fa. Okay, fb minus fa. That means if we have the contour integration over this curve, then this value will be final value minus initial fb minus fa. Okay, hence it has been proved. Next, relation between this one, contour integration fz dz and contour integration minus fz dz. This is important. Carefully you have to watch. Okay, so the contour C traversed in opposite direction, that is from point B to point A, is denoted by C. So from A to B, the traverse of contour A to B, if it is C, then from B to A it will be minus C. Opposite direction. The first the contour integration fz dz expressed as the definite integral as this one, t equal to a to t equal to b, f of this z is nothing but function of t, and this dz can be written as d z, which is function of t by dt into dt. Let it is your equation number 1. Similarly, fz dz contour integration minus c can be represented as minus t equal to b minus t equal to a. That means b to a. Okay, that means minus t equal to b to minus t equal to a. Fz, f which z is a function of minus t, d by dt of, here we have to consider uh, this is your d by dt of z dt. Here it will be minus z, t is the minus t dt. Okay, so put t dash equal to minus t. So instead of t dash we have to put minus t. So here it will be t dash equal to b, t dash equal to a, like that. So contour integration fz dz minus c will be equal to t dash equal to b to t dash equal to a. F z, this is minus t, it will be written as t dash. Here it is minus t will be t dash. So this minus this will be my d minus t, it will be minus dt. That means here this minus will be like this, d of minus t, like that. So so minus t, here minus, for this minus t we have to write d t dash. So this limit will be t dash equal to b to t dash equal to a. Now replacing t dash by t, this whole expression can be written as integration minus c fz dz. This will be t equal to b to t equal to a, f zt d by dt zt into dt. As it is domicimum, so it can be replaced as t dash to t. So hence integration minus c fz dz will be equal to this limit I am going to be change. So if I am going to change the limit, it will be minus, here t equal to b, here t equal to a. If I am going to write t equal to a to t equal to b, then it will be minus, and all the terms as such I have been written over here. Okay, so next, that implies integration of minus c fz dz will be equal to minus of fz dz, contour integration minus of contribution fz dz. Here fz dz value is this much value, this value is nothing but equal to this one, you just see. Okay, so instead of this one we can write minus, instead of this one we can write what, contour integration fz dz. Okay, so minus is there, so we can write contour integration minus c fz dz equal to minus contour integration c fz dz from equation number 1. That is from equation number 1 that has been substituted over here, and we found this one. Now complex line integral expressed as the sum of two real line integrals. See, we know that fz can be represented by u xy plus I v xy. Here z equal to x plus iy, dz will be dx plus I dy. So contour integration fz dz will be equal to contour integration uxy plus I vxy dx into dx plus I dy. Okay, that implies contour integration fz dz will be equal to, here you can see that u into dx. Okay, and just multiplication, see u dx I u dy. Okay, then iv dx minus, because you see multiplication, this one minus v dy, because whenever it will multiply I vx into I dy, it will be minus I square, means minus I square will be minus 1, so it will vx y dy. So I not written next step here, it is written as u the function of xy. I not written here the function of xy. I just straight written as u. So u dx will be minus v dy plus I v dx plus u dy. You just multiply this one. This with this, you are going to get the 4 terms. Okay, and we are going to get this one. So fz dz will be equal to contour integration u dx minus v dy plus I contour integration v dx plus u dy. So complex line integral, this is complex line integral as expressed as the sum of two real line integral. The sum of two real line integral. This is the one of the real line integral. This is also real line integral. Okay. Next we have to go for a modulus of complex line integrals. That means the line integral here, the value, what will the maximum value of a line integral, that we have to find out. It is one type of theorem. You just watch it. What will be the modulus value? That means if we are going to consider the line integral from a to b through this curve, through this contour, what will be the maximum value? Let fz be integrable along a curve C having the finite length L. This one, this length is L. Suppose this A to B is the length L. Suppose there exists a positive number m such that f modulus is less than equal to m everywhere on C. Okay, we know that fz can be written as A to B f which is the function of zt d by dt of zt dt. Okay, and we find that we can found this is found we can found that the modulus of this one will be less than equal to modulus of this one. Okay, because this is represents the whole curve, this is represents from point A to B. So with each and every piecewise here it has been considered, so it will be just greater than that of this one, or we can say this is just less than equal to if this modulus value. Okay, that implies this fz dz is nothing but this one. Here I just substituted over this one. Okay, will be equal to, but I am just going to consider this value. Okay, modulus of this value. So modulus of this value will be equal to A to B modulus of this one, and dt is in the outside. Okay, because dt is the changing variable, so it has to be gone outside of the modulus. So A to B, this f zt modulus and modulus of dzt by dt into dt. This is nothing but this value. The modulus of this function is just less than equal to m. It has one maximum value or modulus value. So instead of this one, I can write m, which is a constant gone outside the integration A to B, and this modulus into dt. So as fz is less than that of the m, so this whole integration, I can say the whole integration will be less than that of this one. Okay, now here you can see A to B, this is dt dt got cancelled, z dzt integration dz integration A to B, that means it will be za minus zb minus za, that means it is representing a length. Okay, so this is A to B modulus of dz function of t by dt is nothing but the length of the contour. Okay, so hence the modulus of this one integration will be less than equal to ml, or consequently we can write modulus of a line integral of a function on the curve, on a particular curve, will be less than equal to its modulus value into its length. Okay, you just remember this one. Integration over the curve fz dz modulus less than equal to modulus value fz modulus value into length, total length. And from the above expression, it is found that the modulus of the value of the integral fz along c does not ml, which is called Darboux inequality. Does not equal to, does not equal. It just, this integral value is just less than that to be ml. Okay, so here we have to stop, and the next class we are going to discuss some numericals. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. I suggest you just go through this video and write down the note whatever we have been discussed. These are the theoretical part, and then we are going to start our numericals upon the complex integration. Okay, so these things from here you have to write up to this much carefully. And also I told that the question number 12 in the last video, somewhat correction is required. You have to do that correction. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you.